Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be going over the books that I read in the month of July. I read about 10 books in the month of July, which was a huge feat for me because I've been reading like 4 books, 3 books, 5 books back to back every month. So I didn't really think it was possible for me to read 10 books. And what's even more interesting to me was that when I read these books accidentally, I didn't read them with any idea that, oh, I am going to read 10 books in July, which really goes to show that you don't even know the limit of your excellence until like you try to push past the barrier. Sometimes you even unconsciously push past the barrier. So it's very interesting for me to see that, oh, at the end of the month I was able to read a whopping 10 books, which overall increased the amount of books that I've read in the year. So in this video, I'm going to be walking you through the books that I read, what I loved about it, what I didn't love about it, what was very important to me. The reason why I'm recording this video is because I have such deep thoughts about all the books I read. I have this connection to them, and I want to be able to talk about these connections without being in the space of, oh, you have to talk very fast, if not people will scroll. I want to just analyze my thoughts, and if you want to listen, you listen. If you don't want to listen, you don't have to listen, and more importantly, the fact that YouTube offers us the ability to just talk a lot, as opposed to like TikTok, where like there's a limit to how long the video can be. All of that, I feel like it puts a strain on all the things that I want to say. Without wasting too much time, let's go into the 10 books I read. I'm going to be talking about their ratings, again, what I liked and what I didn't like about the books. So we're going to start from like the lowest to the highest, like in ratings, like the lowest rated to the highest rated. Saving the best for last is always my go-to. The lowest book I rated was Practice Makes Perfect, and I rated this a 2.5 star. I think the main reason why I rated this book a 2.5 star was because I can't even remember it. As I'm talking to people now, I can't remember what happened in this book. It's a romance novel, and it's set in this like small town, and there's this girl. She is very shy, and because people know that she's shy, they assume that she's a good person, she's a kind person, and she doesn't like it. She's trying to push past that stereotype. She's also in love with her sister-in-law's bodyguard, which, again, the premise of the book, the plot that leads us into this book is so beautiful to see. It's like, oh my god, another like small town romance, another will they, won't they, like something very interesting. Like the plot was eating. Why am I entering into this book and everything is so boring? Like all the characters so unmemorable, nothing truly profound is happening. There's no coming of age, there's no I'm acknowledging. There were so many things that she did in the book that I was so annoyed and irritated by, and overall, like, it just really upset me that I spent this much time reading the book and nothing profound happened. Like, even when because he, on the other hand, the bodyguard, he had come from a broken family. His parents kind of put all the burden on him and his sibling, so he didn't really know how to love. He had actually closed himself off to ever loving anybody. But now he has met this girl and he's trying to recalculate. But there was no big bang. There was no, oh my god, this is the moment I am actually in love with this person and I just have to spend it was just like, okay, like, yeah, I didn't like that at all. So yeah, that's why this book got a 2.5 star. I wasn't really the biggest fan of it, but yeah, it's not a bad book. Like, if you're looking to get out of a reading slump, all the things that you're looking for, like, oh, close proximity, not forced, but like close proximity, almost fake dating, like, it's all there. But yeah, that's what I thought about the book. My second lowest rated, which is the ninth book. So I rated a couple of them 3 stars. So I'll just be going over the 3 stars. I'm talking about them. The first is Say You Remember Me by Ali Jimenez, and this was a great book. This was a truly good book. I really enjoyed this book. I think I rated it a 3 stars because, again, it didn't wow me. There wasn't anything like truly transformational. It was a good book, and it does enter into this space of people that have been plagued with family illnesses, people that are online, social media, and all of that, like how people close themselves off to love. But again, there wasn't this big bang. Like, for example, now the main male character, the MMC, he was someone that didn't really like his family because of the choices that they had made, because of the choices that his father had made. However, we see that there is no really coming of age. There's this again big bang, this realization that, oh, I have to actually consider these people. I have to start thinking about forgiveness. I have to start thinking about how to move on from this terrible thing that happened. And yes, it is bad. Yes, I shouldn't be like the most forgiving, but I'm going to try and like take a first step. There wasn't that. Like, the girl just spoke to him, the female main character, she just spoke to him, and he's like, okay, let me forgive my family. Let me forgive my father that abandoned us. I was so upset. But like, just aside that, like, it's a breath of fresh air, fun things are happening. Again, there's close proximity, not forced necessarily, but yeah, close proximity. We love a man that can take charge. We love a man that likes the woman that he's talking to, and not men that would like act nonchalant. Like, he wasn't nonchalant at all. Even when she was perceiving that he might be, like, he was showing up for her in every way that she wanted him to show up for her. And I really, really liked that. Ali Jimenez is a truly great writer, and I just love her books in general. Like, she knows how to talk about characters, she knows how to talk about experiences, she knows how to pull you into this world, and it was really a great book. I just don't think it was like profound enough to have rated anything higher than a 3-star. So I don't drown you people in romance novels. Another book that I rated a 3-star is Strangers by Belle. This was a great book. This was a good book, and it was just, I read it in a day. I read it in the span of a day. And I really liked a lot of things about this book. So Strangers is a memoir about a woman called Belle. Belle is a lawyer in America. She really just does pro bono law. Like, she doesn't go knee deep in law, but she had gone knee deep in law at an earlier age. She has a couple of kids and her husband. Now, what prompted this memoir was her husband leaving her, cheating on her, then leaving her abruptly, and how she comes to terms with this, how she navigates a new world without this person that she has known for more than 25 years of her life. Like, it's so jarring to see, like, how she can navigate that. And this book faced a lot of controversy because people find it hard or difficult to sympathize with somebody that has money. I'm going to tell you people now, that makes no sense. That makes no sense. If I come here and I'm talking to you about having cancer, about having HIV, you're gonna be like, oh, at least you have the money to take care of HIV. Does that mean I should have HIV? If I come and I'm talking to you about having COVID or having, like, if someone is going through something, if I lost my kid, I lost my child, why would you tell me that, oh, at least you have money, you have a good husband, you can have another brain? Some people don't have brain. And I know sometimes, but it's difficult not to acknowledge that money makes life better. A lot of people just want to, especially people that don't have money. I can relate to as a broke girl. If people don't have money, they want every single conversation to pertain around money, how money can make everything better. But you see in real life how money doesn't make a lot of people's lives all the more better. Like, yeah, they are better off than people that don't have money, but to automatically say that this person can find any form of happiness that they so wish simply because they have money is disingenuous and just very wrong to say. So a lot of people couldn't sympathize with the fact that her husband left her because she had money, and like, they couldn't understand her experiences. Like, even when she was talking about how she bought the house that they lived in, I think about, like, yeah, she bought one house that they lived in, she invested a lot in the relationship, meanwhile he kept his money to himself, and her trying to navigate that form of betrayal, him trying to use that as power against her. People are like, oh my god, but you have other estates, you have money somewhere. Does that matter? Again, if I have 5 books and someone steal my 1 book or my 2, I will run mad. Especially someone that I have loved, I have shared a life with for more than 20 years. It is something to grapple with. Trust, trust, relationship, it's really a shift in perspective for a lot of people. For you, even, nobody can go through that and be utterly unfazed by it. It is impossible. So her sharing her experience, yeah, you can take like, oh, this person is fine. We're not looking at it like, oh, how can we help her? How can we start a GoFundMe to help Belle? We are looking at it from the perspective of, this was a really traumatizing thing to go through. And that is something that every single woman or every single person really can relate to. How you are left in a relationship and you don't know what to do, you don't know how to start your life after that. Like, there's so many things to think about when reading that book, aside the fact that she's this rich woman that has multiple homes and just is privileged in life. Like, she even acknowledges it. I sometimes, there was a point in the book where I was like, oh my god, shut up. You get it, you feel bad that you're rich. Can we talk about the what happened to you now? Can we? But like, ultimately, the reason why it's such a good book is because she I think I'm going to bump this to a 3.5 stars. Yeah, after all these things that I've said, yeah, 3.5 stars. It's more about the experience, what she was able to go through, and to just show you people how life is so dynamic and complex. Now, I don't know, I said I was going to be putting it on the screen, but like, I'll just read you guys one quote from the book that I really liked, and it goes like this: When I think of James now, I think of that man waving. He is not a villain. He is a man with his own wounds. He is my children's father, the source of many years of love and happiness. He is someone who made decisions about his own life, his own future. He is someone I can survive without. He is someone I don't know. He is someone who doesn't know me. And I think that sums up why she named the book Strangers. And it's what I really, really think is a good lesson to take from this book is how life is dynamic. Life is not linear. It's not one thing all the time. And to sum up a relationship as like something that failed because you didn't die with that person is very wrong, very disingenuous. Like, people take the ideal outcome of a relationship as someone having died. Like, okay, yes, this is the best aspect. I've seen so many people that have been divorced say, oh, I wish they just died. But that 30 years, that 20 years I have spent with the person is very, very important and something to be proud of, to be a grown adult and to have lived with this person for as long as you did, come to terms with your differences, all of that. It is truly an achievement. It is truly something to be proud of. Like, all the shared happiness, joy, and everything, it matters. The relationship shouldn't be summed up as, oh, they're divorced now. That should never be the takeaway from a book. So yeah, 3.5 stars. The book was honestly amazing. It was a great book. Another Ali Jimenez book I read was Fall Risk, and I rated this a 3 stars because it was a novella. I don't like a novella. And this is about a girl that is being stalked by one of her customers when she was working at a bank, and just her navigating her life, like trying to escape this stalker, and no one wants to believe her. Failed system. The system has really failed women in this life. But what I just didn't like about it, there wasn't time to get to know these characters, to seep into who they really are. It was funny, it was witty, it was entertaining, but then I wanted more. I wanted more. But I guess that's why novellas are like that. But that's just particularly why I didn't like it. And but there's everything you want in a book. There's forced proximity. There's a man taking charge. Doing what he's supposed to do, and just two people sharing their life and trying to see if there's a future in the few experiences that they've shared together. And this is a month of Abby Jimenez because I read another of her book. This is also a 3 stars. But I think what I really love about Abby Jimenez is her ability to write very, very, like, I don't know, how do I say it? Very difficult plots. You would be reading the book and you're like, there's no way they're going to come out of this. There's no way they're going to come out of this. Even Say You Remember Me, the girl is plagued with this life-altering disease that has no cure. And you're like, she's going to die, she's going to die. But she doesn't. Like, there's still a happy ever after. I don't know how she's able to do that. While I'm reading the book, like, my brain, like I'm the mentalist. I'm trying to figure out the solution to this. I can't figure it out. But then she always brings up this amazing solution that makes everything better. So in between here and there, the setting is the male character is this guy that's managing the house that his grandparents left to his mother as an Airbnb, and she wants to sell it, but he doesn't want her to sell it. So he's working like tirelessly in order to figure out how to not lose this piece of history that his grandparents left behind. And he's also the mayor of his town, so he's really well rooted to the town, as opposed to the female main character who is this doctor, and she's set in town, like she's in the city. She's furthering her career. She's about to be the chief resident, I'll be the chief physician at her hospital. She can't leave because her family has built roots in that hospital. So for her to leave would be desecrating the legacy that her parents, grandparents, great grandparents have left behind. So it's like, how do they now meet? And she's able to do it in the best of ways. I really love this book. I think again the reason why I rated this a 3 stars is because we don't go knee deep into the characters. We don't, like, for example, now we don't talk about like their physical attraction towards each other. And I'm not even saying she should write a full on erotica, but you can analyze the look, the feeling, the touch, like something very minuscule. She could have gone deep down. Like I felt like I didn't really know the characters because of this very essential part that was missing from their relationship in my book. But yeah, overall, the characters were amazing. The book was good. It was a great book. Now we're done with all the 3 stars. We're going to be moving on to 3.5 stars. And a good one is Conversations with Friends by Sally Rooney. I loved this book. Sally Rooney is such a beautiful writer. And people say they don't like her books because she goes, like, she doesn't write quotations when people are talking. So you don't really know if someone is talking or if it's, everything is just prose. It's just prose. There's no, I think, what's it? There's prose, poets, and drama. Yeah, there's no drama. It's just prose. So the fact that there's no quotation makes a lot of people confused when they are reading it. But I don't think it's that deep. I don't think it's that deep. It's a really good book. And yes, she says Conversations with Friends. She really writes people. Like, she writes ugly, disturbing, weird, shy, bold people, you know? And I love her ability to just take every character and show us who they can be, both good and bad. Like how one person can possess every single thing. Good, bad, ugly, weird, everything. One person can have it. And it doesn't bode well for us to just sum people up to the few moments that we've known them and the few experiences that we've had with them. Someone might be shy but equally very adventurous. Like, we're so many things. Human beings are different. Or human beings are a lot of things at the same time. So I'm going to be reading a few quotes from her and what I felt about the quotes while I was reading it. A few quotes from the book and how I felt about it and what I thought while I was reading it. One of them is, I concluded that some kinds of reality had an unrealistic effect, which made me think of the theorist Jean, I can't pronounce the last name. So what this really says, it's quite profound. I don't even think I can dissect this in an entire video. Like, there are things that are actually happening that you are seeing them, but they have an unrealistic effect. They feel fake. And a good example of this is like me. I've been struggling with this crisis of, am I a reader, am I not a reader, which is so interesting because I'm talking about 10 books that I've read, but I feel like I'm being performative in a way. I feel like this very real thing that I'm doing has an unrealistic effect to it. Like, I sound like every other person out there that's just claiming to be a book reader. And it's just something to ponder about. Another one is, men love telling me that I'm cool. They just want me to act like I've never heard it before. And it's so true. Like, people will say they want a confident woman. They don't really want a confident woman. They don't really want confident people in general, but it's mostly on women, because like when men are confident, it's easier for the society to digest it, more so than if a woman is like outwardly confident. They see her as like arrogant and all of that. They want to tell me I'm beautiful. They do acknowledge that I'm beautiful, I'm intelligent, I'm all of these things, but they don't want me to know it. They don't want me to act like, I don't want me to make false humility. They want me to act like I've never heard it before. Like, this profound thing that someone is saying. I know how, as a fat person, I deal with this a lot, where people would say I'm beautiful and they expect me to be wowed because, like, oh, you're fat. I'm sure people don't tell you that you're beautiful. I don't even care if no one says it, but like, I'm not going to act like you're the first person to say you're not. You're not. And the last quote that I really like is, it was a conversation between her and a friend of hers, the main character. She said, what I like about your male characters, because the main character, she is a writer. She talks about poetry. She talks about different things. Like, she's a writer. She said, what I like about your male characters is that they are horrible. And she responds, she says, they are not all horrible. At best, they are very morally ambiguous. Aren't we all? And it just goes to show, like, what I've been saying about her. Like, I think Sally Rooney puts a bit of herself into the books that she's writing, which is that we are all morally ambiguous. No one is this strict person that adheres to every single morals that they set. Like, even when you set it, you are still not following it. And even if you don't set it, like, there are things that you are doing that is contradicting certain morals that you have set for yourself. And morals that the world has agreed to generally. It just shows that, again, we are not, you can't sum up someone to, oh, this person is good, this person is bad. There are a few people, like Hitler is objectively a bad person. He's objective. He's objectively a bad person. I'm not going to take any arguments of this. All these people are killing people in the world. They are bad people. We're not arguing that. But like, just day-to-day individuals, you can't sum up people as like, oh, this person is good, this person is bad. There is ambiguity. There's room for error. It was a good book. I wouldn't really say it hit me as much. That's why I'm not giving it a 4 or 5 star. But it's a good book, and yeah, you're not going to go wrong by reading this. The next book is Battle of the Bookstores by Ali Brady. I liked this book. I really liked this book. It's about two people. The male character, the male main character, he's into romance, which is like so interesting to see. Like, he doesn't like literary fiction, and we see in this day and age, men are so pretentious, by the way. Oh, I don't read romance, I don't like romance. Like, oh, I love literary fiction, I love to dive. Like, just, I don't like it. But like, you've seen a man that's like, oh, I'm into romance, I love helping people find a nice little romance novel that they can fall in love with, and he even finds it difficult to read literary fiction. I just love it, because again, even some men that are not really readers would love to tell you that they don't like romance novels, they want a book that's like heavy-handed. As for him to just admit that, yeah, I'm not really good at all those heavy-handed books, but I will try. And then the female main character, she's not into romance at all. We learned that this is due to childhood experiences. Her mom being someone that's so obsessed with romance that she completely abandons her kids. So she didn't cling to romance growing up. She clung to more literary fiction, like The Hobbit, Harry Potter, like, and she even grew, like, because one of her, what I really love about this book, again, writers put a little bit of themselves into the books that they are writing, and I feel like a part of Ali Brady was able to relate to the female main character, and I loved to see that. One of her favorite books, the character in the book, was A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara, which is a book that's really dear to my heart. I really love that book, and to hear someone else, like, even though it's a fictional character, talk about how they really enjoyed that book was something good. And I just love the contrast between them. Things you would not expect a man to say, or things you would not expect a woman to say. Like, just these people that are so different, but yet they're finding a way to each other. And just stereotypes about, like, book readers, and it's coming to life. I really enjoyed this book. There's so many aspects of it that was so beautiful, and ultimately it ended well. Like, I love when from beginning to end, like, you're not dulling, going down in intensity, like from this to this, from this to this, from this to this, and I got that in Ali Brady's book. So yeah, that's why I say 3.5 star, not 4 star or 5 star, because again, did my life change because of this book? No, not really. That's the end of our 3.5 stars. We're going to be moving on to 4 stars now. I only rated one book, and not really a 4 star. I rated it a 4.5 star, which is I Who Have Never Known a Man by Jacqueline Harpman. This book terrorized me. It traumatized me. Funny enough, I had just recently, like, stocked my shelf. Like, these are all the books I own, by the way. I just recently stocked my shelf. It was around 10 p.m. and I'm like, oh, I saw someone recommend this book. Let me try and read it. And I was like, this shouldn't be bad. Like, I thought it would be something about feminism, like how this woman who has never known a man, her life has truly been altered. Her life has been made better because she had never known a man. No, ladies and gentlemen, that's not what this book is about. This book is terrorizing. So the plot is about these women that have been held captive. They don't know why they're there. The main character, she's the only one that is young. The rest of them are in their middle age or even older than that. And we don't know why they are there. Then all of a sudden, they are all set free. The people that have been holding them in captive, they've all disappeared. I was really shaken by this book because it keeps going and going and going. And you're like, oh my God, they're almost at the finish line. There's no way someone could keep ongoing, because they didn't walk for days, they didn't walk for weeks, they didn't even walk for months. They walked for years. People of God, they walked for years and they were still not able to find a place. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. And I think what is the most misleading about this book is that, oh, it's about feminism, it's about women. It's not about women empowerment. I don't even think the person that wrote this book know what this book is about. It's an experience. It's an experience. And what I didn't like about this book and why I didn't get a 4-star, why I didn't get a 5-star is because it made it seem as if her life was summed up to the fact that she had never known a man. The fact that she was held captive, the fact that she made all these friends, the fact that she had never read a book, she didn't know how to read, she had never met people that were not held in captivity, she had never known a world outside not being captured, was not the most important thing about her life. The most important thing was that she never knew men. And even ultimately, because by the way, if you haven't read the book, spoiler alert, I'm about to say something, even the fact that her womb was the one that was killing her because she had, I think, the cancer of the uterus. She was saying how ironic it is, which is quite ironic, that her that has never actually used her womb for what it was meant to be used for is dying of it. And even her period, she never got her period growing up because the way she was supposed to develop as a kid, she wasn't able to because she was held captive. She never really felt what it meant to be a woman. And I feel that should have been the takeaway, that, oh, I didn't know how it felt like to be like a woman. But then to sum up her entire existence, to, oh, she had never seen a man or talked to a man, dated a man, man. We get it. We get it. And I'm not saying men are not important aspects of life. They are. But it shouldn't be the bane or the entirety of someone's life. Because we saw in the book women taking solace in each other, women taking comfort in each other. I feel like the book could have dove into complexities that go outside just a man and her life being summed up to never having met a man. But it's really not just about that. The book is very interesting. When I was reading reviews about this book, a lot of people said that the takeaway from this book is how your life does not have meaning if there's no one to share it with, if there's no one to be around you. Like, your life is the most important when everyone is there with you, everyone is experiencing your life with you, someone witnessing your existence, which is actually a very beautiful quote in A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara that explains that point. But this idea that the reason why you are living is so other people can witness you live is such an important thing to talk about, to think about. Because even when she had no hope that she would ever be discovered, she would ever meet anybody, she just kept writing. She kept writing with this hope. And again, that what I take from the book, as someone on my TikTok left the message that the book is about hope. You keep hoping, you keep reaching. She kept going. And I'm like, yeah, I get that. If you're saying this book is about hope, I get that. Not giving up, believing that there's this thing that you haven't reached, this life that you haven't discovered that can truly change how things are. Faith, all of that. It's interesting. The book, I'm still kind of shaken by it. And I think I returned a 4.5 star because the writing was good. The storyline was good. I just didn't like the ending. I felt traumatized by the ending. Now moving on to 5 stars. The first 5 star I read was Such a Beautiful Thing to Behold by Umar Turaiki. This book was good. It's kind of similar to I Who Have Never Known a Man, but it actually ends well. So this book is about a community that has been plagued by an illness and they are trying to navigate a life in that illness, and this illness is something that only plagues older people, so it doesn't affect children. But as the children grow older, then they are afflicted by this illness. So it's set in you can tell that this is very African. You can't really point it oh, this is Nigeria or anything, because he uses dystopian. I think he created a dystopian word for it, but it can have some symbolism in Nigeria, in Africa. It's a really interesting book to read. I think what to me is the most important thing that I took from this book was how there wasn't really misogyny. And yes, there's this need for the male characters to exude this male energy or female characters to exude this female energy, but we see that the reason why they do it is not because of societal's definition of what a man can do and what a woman can do, but them mirroring the experiences or them mirroring the things they've learned from their parents. So one of the main characters, he's he wants to do this because his dad did it. He wants to rescue people because his father rescued people. He wants everything, father. And then the girl, her taking care of the home is this way of trying to be connected to her mother, like, oh, how can I relate to my mother more, how can I be, but aside that, like, you see them taking charge, the women are taking charge, the men are taking charge, like, it's not just one aspect that's left solely at the hands of men and one aspect left solely to the hands of women. Everyone is sharing it, even when we're assuming violence, because there was a part where one of the characters wanted to, hit his sister, and for her, she was like, the audacity. And normally, like, if a boy hits a girl, it's like, oh, that's just normal because men are strong and whatnot. But even he was traumatized by the fact that, oh, why would I do that to my sister? Why would I do that to my sister? I didn't like the negative reviews I saw about this book on Goodreads. There were positive reviews, but the negative reviews made no sense to me. Someone was likening the book to COVID-19, and this book has nothing to do with COVID-19. It's not even related to COVID-19. COVID-19 affected everyone, whether you were a kid or grown up, you could get COVID-19. This book is about adults, and the biggest issues that Americans and other people are even having about COVID-19 was not being able to get groceries and tissue paper, things just skyrocketing. People not being able to feed was what was going on in Nigeria in Africa during COVID-19. But again, not to this point, because there was isolation, like real isolation, and not the one that comes from like, oh, don't go out so you will not get this disease. It's like a community being isolated from the outside world looking at them as these terrible people, these people that have this terrible disease that none of us want to get. And so there's a lot of violence in the book. And ultimately we see, again, this book is also about hope, same as I Who Have Never Known a Man, except, like I said, there's a happy ending in this one. I think I have a quote from this book. Yeah, I should definitely have a quote from this book. I feel the beginning of the book has this quote that really talks about what we are about to see, what we are about to experience, and it's at the end of the book you're like, okay, this book sums it up. These quotes sums it up quite well. Your eyes are windows into your body. If you open your eyes wide in wonder and belief, your body fills up with light. This is Matthew 6, chapter 22. I don't really know the Bible all that well, but like, it kind of tells you, because the illness shows in the eyes. That's where it's the most visible. That's where you see that, okay, yeah, this person has it. They call it the gray. And just talking about like how it affects adults leads you to believe that, okay, maybe this is something that has to like wonder, love, hope, everything like that. And at the end of the day, we see that it does have a lot to do with hope. What really drew me to this book, or what really made me keep going with this book, is the violence, like what people can do to survive. Like, the survival tactics are insane in this book. How people are just striving, like, again, because of hope. I get that. That's just the book. I swear, hope. The hope for something better, the hope for something more than just what we are experiencing. What is leading people to act in violent ways just to survive? Like, because if you don't have hope, you are not trying to survive. If you have truly lost hope, you don't care if someone beats you, maims you, takes every single thing you love away from you because you have given up. But them rebelling, them being violent towards one another is an expression that, okay, I believe that there's going to be a tomorrow. There's going to be a tomorrow after tomorrow. And I have to be alive for that. I have to be here for that. I have to keep all my belongings intact. I have to keep my joy intact. I have to keep everything intact. And I really loved that about this book. Umar Shiraki is truly a master. He's a master with words. He knows how to describe things so profoundly and accurately that you can envision it. You can envision the emotions that's going through them and juxtapose it with what it is they are saying and how it is they are acting, as opposed to what is going on in their mind. And the last book I read that I was utterly obsessed with is Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy. This is a classic. Some people argue that it's one of the greatest books in the world. I'm only saying that because I read it. I'm a smart babe. What can I say? To be honest with you guys, I don't really want to talk about this book here. I feel like this book deserves a video of its own. I've been trying to get the hard copy of the book, but Woven Heights is doing me dirty. They don't have it yet, so I'm going to have to wait and get the book so I can really hold it in my physical hand and tell you people my real thoughts about the book. Ultimately, just like sum it up, people say Leo doesn't write characters, he writes people, And that is so true. Like the entire book, like I got from the bookstore manager when I went to the bookstore yesterday, that the entire book is a soap opera. It's a drama. Something is happening every time, and it is more than just that. Sometimes, for example, now when you are talking about novellas, telenovelas, and Telemundo, all of them, they focus more on the action, the passion, everything. This book has that, but it also has deep moments where you are pondering, you're thinking existentially, you're thinking politically, you're thinking romantically, you're thinking like in socially, how all these things are in play in Leo's book. And when I was reading some of the quotes to my friend, because I can't shut up about it, when I was reading some quotes to my friend, I was telling him how this is a translation. I can't even imagine what these words, how they would feel to me if I could read it in its original text as Leo had written it. Some things can get lost in that translation. That's where the entire saying "lost in translation" comes from. And like I said, I'm not going to talk about this book in its entirety. I don't think I talked about any of the books in their entirety, but I would like to dissect this at a different day, at a different time, have its physical copy, and truly go into what is beautiful about this book. But I would read you guys one of my favorite quotes. I have a million of them. If I'm being honest, it's not the reward that's precious, but the work itself. And I could have wished you understood that. If you are now if you now are going to work to study in order to win a reward, then the work will seem hard to you. But when you work and you love your work, you will find your reward in it. And oh my god, this is why, if you watch my previous video, this is why I quit my job. Like the reward that you get from the work is not what you should look at, like the money or the honor or the award. Like, that's not why you should work. You should work because you truly enjoy it. That in itself should be a reward. And I'm not saying all of us should be poor. I'm not saying none of us should have money or to work for money. But like that's not the entire basis of working. That shouldn't be the entire basis of working. There's so many businesses that people can do, so many adventures people can go into simply for the sake of making money. Having a passion, having something that you do, even if it doesn't bring you money, if you're someone that's able to live without needing money. When I say like needing money, I mean you don't need money to feed, clothe, and all of that. Like, you don't need to make your own money to do all those things. So if you are able to do that, like, what would you choose? Every single job you can think of, every single thing that you love can bring you money if you really position your mind where it's meant to be. The work in itself is a reward. I was telling my mom about how there's this girl on TikTok and Instagram, like, she's very popular in the Iowa community. Her name is Hadiza Shehu. She started an NGO for helping girls, 120 girls I think, get pads in her local community, which is such a beautiful thing to go into. And I had recently ended an initiative, and we had money left over, and I reached out to a friend. I was like, oh, how can I help? How can I like send this money to her? And I reached out to her. I was able to send it to her, and the joy I felt, like, when the videos came out of them sharing and giving out the parts, I felt a sense of gratitude that I was even at the position to offer this money, even though it wasn't my money, even though it wasn't entirely my initiative. The fact that I was in any way, shape, or form involved in these girls getting an essential item, it filled me with so much hope. I didn't need to get money from that. I didn't need to get recognition from that. Even if she did recognize me, I didn't need that. The actual joy itself is from the work. And I loved how succinctly Leo Tolstoy puts all these different aspects of life into his book. Anyways, guys, those were all the books I read, and those are their ratings. Let me know if you'll be reading any of this book, if any of these books particularly spoke to you, and if you've read them, what you thought about them. I would love to hear all of that. Thank you so much for watching, and my next video I'm going to be talking about like the books I'm going to be reading in August, so stay tuned for that if it's not already up. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.